clash. And it starts on Inferno. We are off to the races, and we'll see already. You'll be seeing 3 CTs split over towards the A site. Tyloo looking to go for a bit of a split and pick sort of formation.
Well, we are off. OG, in my book, the favorites, but this one could go the full distance here as we see Tyloo enter the cobbled streets of Inferno once again. And we are going to have 2 smokes, a Molotov, a flashbang available, and a P250 in the hand of Zeta as well, the new boy, trying to step up here. He'll hold towards middle while his teammates get set up towards the end of apartments here. Looks like they'll be deploying a couple of smokes, going for an A finish once they clear out apartments and confirm that's clear. OG with 3 players waiting on the A site in quite aggressive formation. We've got Issa holding back at the graveyard here. Here comes the first smoke.
Yeah, misses his shots. Alexi B does not, though. That CZCT is effective. Issa's biding his time. Alexi can't get the fresh clip, and now Issa does find one before going down. NBK 2, but he's still getting ganged up upon, and so a 2v2. Bomb will be scooped up. Going to be somebody's responsibility to get that down.
It will go down, Alex, no problem there. On for the ace here. Somebody will be up against Mantu and Vauda as they try and hold on to this post-plant situation. The burst fire from the Glock rattles off towards quad. USP recovered. Zeta in the pit now. He has been taken down. 1 player remaining, and he's been completely flashed as well. Should be no chance here, as Vauda will close things out. And it's going to be quite a convincing victory for OG in the end there. The defuse will come in comfortably. Tyloo get the bomb down, meaning they can buy up AKs in the second round here, which I'm almost certain they'll do. They have been throughout the tournament so far, albeit in the 1 game we've seen.
Yeah, and the first chance for us to see what OG are up to. Is that a name that I'm particularly fond of, seeing his kind of coming of age alongside Woxic, who have now gone their separate ways. It was in Hellraisers, and then we saw, of course, his development into the Mouse Sports roster with now Woxic and Issa in OG.
Hero AK on somebody, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we'll see what he fancies. Thank you very much.
You see how he's been there since 2015. He's had to change his play style quite significantly, but he's always kept this aggression.
And NBK's waiting for it. Does get the info, but somebody just charging up through the smoke. The hero rifle has been squandered, and there's more where that came from.
Well, this wasn't the full investment from Tyloo, just the hero AK purchase there for somebody out getting 3 kills in the pistol. Unfortunately, running through the smokes towards middle hasn't led them to a great deal of success here, and they're going to be left in a 5-on-2. Summer and Zeta wait patiently for any CT mistakes here, but at this point, all you need to do is apply the brakes, make sure that everyone's holding their crossfires, and there's no possible chance a player goes down without trade potential here. We can see one at the bottom, that's going to be Alexi B. You can see Summer, though, almost preempting his position and going to be pre-firing that spot. We'll see if that comes through. Apparently not. Should be the double kill here, which it is, and a lot of money farmed up there. That was a lovely round from OG. MP9's funny, all 5 kills, lots of money farmed up here, but the AKs will come out in the third. It'll just be one compromise in the form of somebody who doesn't get the full buy considering he got the AK in this round.
He's probably happy with the UMP. I remember playing against this guy back in the day, and this is when UMP was peaking, right? Everyone was using it in drop zone and cobble, but he would make it work anyway. We can see here he hasn't been able to afford that UMP. He's actually gone over for the Mac 10, but just as serviceable with the close range and aggression. And, well, no surprise, he'll be charging on up Banana, smoke in hand. Most likely going to be extinguishing the Molotovs that will be coming in his direction. And right on cue, what will you explain that noise as? The noise of the Molotov getting extinguished.
Extinguished, I guess, would be the sound of something being extinguished.
I was thinking more like onomatopoeia, kind of.
Onomatopoeic?
Yeah.
Like a zhush.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Not the start they were looking for.
No, but this is 2 rounds in a row. Somebody has been the first man down, and then Freeman's been right behind him.
Yeah, it's a good point.
At least they're trying to trade.
Yeah, though it hasn't gone too well so far. Attack it down to 40 as well. Remember, this is the pick of Tyloo as well. They wanted to be here. Very, very early days, but a convincing start nonetheless from OG. Looking quite comfortable here in the 5-on-3. MBK and Alexi taking damage at the start as the grenades are exchanged. No further HP removed, but Summer has a chance here to find the first kill. Not going to happen. MBK down to 8.
Issa preemptively smokes, and Issa preemptively frags. He does catch a dink into Summer, who's the last man left. He just swings out into the open and gives another $600 to this time to man 2.
Yeah, that's not good news. He's going to be picking up an AK-47. He'll have plenty of money going forward for the AWP. 7,000 in reserve right now. He drops the AK, and I assume he'll pick up the sniper going forward now. So he's in a fantastic spot going forward, and not actually going to be the case. Happy to hold on to the MP9, it seems. not going to be upgrading these SMGs just yet. And it makes sense. You're up against the CZs going into this round after the force buy in the previous. So just a partial here from Tyloo as they get maximum loss bonus going to the next round. We'll see if they can crack open a bomb site here with the smokes, flashbangs, and 5 HE grenades. Watch out for that.
Yeah, so we saw yesterday they tried to nade that bicycle position to deal with the phase players, but more often than not, they weren't there ready to receive. Now, you will be able to see them get map control. Boiler and holes is quite standard, and just do a set piece from here. This should be no dramas, right? This isn't a situation where you need to test the water, you need to dip your toe in. These kind of rounds, most teams can make work, but this isn't where we see the problems for Tyloo.
It's down to the execution, and the executioner is Issa. Double immediately into the opening for Tyloo, and now just with one man left. They do get a nice little nade. Somebody from the grave will strike onto NBK, but that's 4-0 and full 4-round loss bonus accumulated.
Well then, it is the full loss bonus. You're absolutely dead on. And Issa, man 2, all looking very comfortable here. The big spray down coming through. And presumably the orb comes out on maybe either side at this point.
Does that look desperate to you guys as desperate it looks to me? Because there's no nuance to that from Tyloo. There's no, well, if we get mollied, we'll wait for the molly, then we'll nade. It just feels like whatever they decide to do, they have to carry through from spawn. It doesn't feel like there's any variation,
I feel like that goes on
deviation.
to your point earlier of saying that they're replicating strategies they're seeing online, but they're not really sure why that's being done. Valda's certainly sure of something, and that's that he's finding headshots all over the map at this stage. The AK-47 with a brutal swing from the barrels there does find the opening shot. Somebody removed. 5 on 4. Tyloo having a rough time out there so far. OG looking very sharp indeed. They can fall back to more defensive lines and establish their crossfires at this point because everything's looking good. Incendiary in response to the smoke towards Arch. Mantu doesn't necessarily have to do much of this. He can boost behind the smoke if he really wants to.
They've got 4 guys on A ready for this, and there's no banana control to be spoken of for Tyloo. This should just be into the blender.
Yeah, and boosted over the smoke. I think he's going to catch a glimpse if they go quad side, but they're not.
It's clearing.
Ooh, just out of there, and they have a nice incendiary to keep him at bay.
Yeah, just in case they're waiting on that smoke to burst around the corner and swarm the AWPer. They want to make sure there's a contingency plan in place. Hunting for information now. They will reclaim mid territory and funnel them back towards B. NBK's going to have a little look down towards middle. Gets the timing well, but doesn't overcommit. He wants to maintain this 5 on 4 and push him up in towards the B bomb site. Rotations coming through now as Alexi B. He's got the key flashbang. We've seen this so many times the last couple of weeks. The CT flash is absolutely everything. He'll be bouncing it off this close wall by the tree as soon as he feels a commitment come through, enabling his teammate Valda to get the frags who has no utility. So this is all on this flash. In it goes. How effective is it?
Not at all. Back to a turn, but Valda, he's fragging regardless. What is this? He's going to ace it up. Oh, with 5 HP to spare. Freeman thrown into an impossible clutch scenario. There's one just lingering in the smoke. He is going to be going down. It's just a moment of time. Alexi B is there for the trade. He did well to find a third. Good damage inflicted to the CT economy considering how many SMG frags, but look at their money. Yeah, they're still set.
Yeah, they're absolutely fine there. This was the opening frag from Valda. We said it was a wide swing, so he uses the veil of the HE grenade there down towards T steps to swing and pre-fire the T steps. Almost gets the A's, does 90 damage to the final player. Not quite enough though, as Tyloo will bring in their first tactical timeout, brought to you by the US Air Force, of course. So, a chance to discuss their options, still maintaining that maximum loss bonus with a bomb not being planted in the last 4 rounds. That's since the pistol. They will find themselves at just 3,400 and not really many options apart from going for the full investment with CZ's armor, and that would be about it.
Yeah, so I was doing a little bit of digging into the Tyloo camp, just trying to see what kind of information I could be finding, and somebody actually did an interview with CSGO to Asia back in November of 2019, and they asked him a question about their coach, who goes by the name of Kings, RYK. He's changed his alias around a couple of times, and he said basically, this is paraphrasing, that he's helping them find solutions for the mistakes, that kind of stuff you'd expect, but he thinks he's helped more with their mental game, especially when they're being dominated or things aren't going to plan. So they're 5-0 down. Kings has just taken the timeout. Let's see if he's done anything for the morale of the team.
Well, we said they'd have CZs and not much else, and that's exactly the case here. They pick up the pace towards B. They are going to be entering another crossfire situation. Bomb goes down early. Smoke is just beautiful. And we are going to see Valda, though, in a compromised position. I feel like he goes down here. He overcommits to that one, if I'm honest with you. And now NBK in a lot of trouble. If he gets taken down through the smoke, the round could be theirs. Tyloo working out their options here. Still a 3-on-3. Smoked out for now, and now they can just put a little bit of pacing behind this. They can just slow it right down. work out what the next move is going to be. And apparently they're committing towards B, and that's going to be Mantu. Ready and waiting with the AWP. 2 glorious shots there, and it will be a finish from MBK as well. So a little bit dicey, but overall it's going to be 6-0 for the international roster of OG.
I'm very interested to see more from Mantu as this game continues to develop. A nice shot, especially into that second.
Well, trust me, he's got a lot of online experience compared to the others.
I know you guys
he'll be
my
fine in this
nickname.
environment.
My nickname for him.
Go on.
If you remember from Summit.
Big Man Ting.
That's the one.
That's it. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you guys are massive fans of that nickname.
Yeah, it really caught on.
Really
That's what I
landed.
liked about it the most.
Yeah, it really landed.
Yeah, and Chad's knowledge of street lingo in London. I don't all time high.
So 1 Krieg on the CT side in the hands of MBK. A perfect game so far from OG on the pick of their opposition. Inferno looking beautiful so far as we have another opening frag situation here. Issa looks like he's got the advantage, but it could go either way. He's got a
Freeman's fast though, I'm telling you. Oh, not so quick for the body shots. And a trade not actually far away. MBK's spray did good damage alongside Issa.
Surprised this didn't get that one, to be honest with you, but still the opening kill. Tyloo will take it all day long. Freeman down to 33, and we'll see them holding on to a bit of map territory this time. They've got full control of the banana area. Haven't got middle yet, but that'll be their next port of call. Leaving somebody in that position. And now the smoke down towards Arch. You can see the Molotov towards Quad. They're going for that mid control, trying to take vision away from the CTs at this point. On both sides of the key choke points. So that's banana and now middle. And then they can go into that execution we talked about before that was so promising. But they've just lost a player in the form of somebody. That wasn't even a low HP player. Bomb goes down. Should be able to trade him out though, as they will. And still a good chance here for Tyloo.
Attacker will burn before he can get himself into the site. Freeman does evade the flame. Summer to support him. Falda and Alexi, they have the kit. They do have some utility as well. You see a smoke and 2 flashbangs. Alexi opting for the smoke for pit.
Yeah, just in front of it. Nice nade behind that as well. Freeman goes down easy to that. Perfect touchdown and Summer to clutch. The smoke aids him somewhat here. He is going to find the first kill, and now the time is on. We are going to see Valda left in a 1 versus 1. Will he go for the full defuse here? Apparently not, as he does look for the player. Summer takes him down. Nice clutch from Tyloo. First on the board, and they had to work hard for it as well. Very well played.
Check this out, boys. We're going to bring up Skybox here for a second. Look at how much hard work they put into just getting control of mid to not leave anybody to watch. So
right?
Molotov to push someone back. Late molly here under the balcony, so now they can't escape. The smoke over here and double flashes. But look, all 3 individuals take their eyes off of the mid position. Right, watch this. As soon as they try and come back up, Freeman stopped watching. Nobody watched Quad. He can reaggress and get a free kill. All of their utility completely in vain. So they have to tidy up those little details.
Yeah, they got the trade, but you're absolutely right there. They definitely need to keep their eye on the prize. They're going to be flushing out key choke points like the Quad position. As we get into round number 8 here. Money's still very strong for OG. A full buy coming out, but the gold is starting to run thin at this stage. 6-1, Tyloo. AKs across the board, no Kriegs to be spotted. Grenade down towards the bottom. Does significant damage towards somebody. Puts him in 1-tap potential of the M4s now. Have a similar process here. Get that banana control first. Get someone tucked in towards the cubby hole. Then go reclaim middle if possible. Flash is good. Doesn't yield the first kill.
Zeta yet to frag, newest addition for Tyloo. Of course, similar issues to their previous roster in the sense of communication. And perhaps, you know, it seems like it's just low-hanging fruit, low observational fruit, but we see all this disconnect. You know, you talk about Tyloo copying strategies and not knowing why. Well, it could come down to some of these gaps being left purely just from communication.
For sure.
Why are they being so direct? Well, because changing their mind is a laborious process.
Yeah, it's a lot of communication will have to go on just to make a small adjustment. And well, he's going to get on the board.
Into the site. Mantu's not ready for the right side push. And now Zeta, we talked about him being quiet. He's managed to go loud enough to perhaps secure a second round back-to-back for Tyloo. They're saving.
Yeah, it looks like they absolutely have to with the 4-on-2 situation they found themselves in. We said the money would be low after this round as Tyloo start to come online now. Their second has been found. 4 players to survive. Another A finish here. Only a couple of kills required. As we'll see them get 2 in a row as well. MBK at the top with Valda right now, and Mantu, in fact. So everyone from OG contributing nicely. Same story on the Tyloo side. No one dropping off dramatically. We've got Freeman there at the top with 5 and 7. As we wait for this round to come in, it's going to be the loss bonus at 1900 for OG, meaning they can get not much more then UMPs or shotguns, pistols to go with their M4s. That's if they decide to buy. I dare say they will, but we'll see how they feel about it. With the 2 saved M4s, knowing that the money's not completely established on the T side, they might fancy this, considering it's Inferno. It's one of those maps where the SMGs and smoke combos is enough, especially when you have these 2 saved M4s. Alexi could even drop another rifle. So they'll take a tactical timeout, allow Braga to come through. So to see if whether Alexi feels like dropping or they wanted to go for the more conservative approach here of going for pistols. As we see the grenades purchased by Alexi, I'd say it's going to be the more safe option.
Safe as houses. Timeout. Just to get Rugger on the microphone.
So yeah, there it is. Desert Eagles, not really much else. They've got armor on Issa. He's got himself a smoke. No Kevlar for MBK or Mansu, who has to keep his money very strong considering he's the AWPer, so he'll remain on 3,100. Doesn't spend a single cent.
Surprising that they haven't actually bought in, because I think when they were wide swinging banana and being a little bit more aggressive, happy to take those fights, they were actually winning a lot of those opening duels. If you check the opening duel stats so far, there's only one round where Freeman did find the opening, and that was on Issa in the boiler room window position, where we actually thought Issa should have gotten the better of him. So you can actually track that back to where things started to go right for Tyloo, that opening kill, and now off the back of that, they've been able to grab 2 rounds. Attacker's going to find an opening of his own.
That was the rifler as well.
Yeah.
You can't retrieve it. Valda, you'll just have to accept that there's one M4 now littered on aggressive banana. He doesn't have teammates to retake it. The smoke could be enough, though. And so now it's a question of getting that into the hands of Mantu. Ideally, you'd be putting it into Issa's hands, considering the extra Kevlar vest.
That would be ideal. Bomb down at T-steps for now. Tyloo starting to show us why it could be a dangerous team in EPL this season. Currently playing from Poland, I should add. Just in case there's any confusion, here we are on online CS from the Kingwin facility, if I'm not mistaken. So B execution looking likely here. We have got Summer watching the flanks towards the apartments. Valda with an HE grenade. Would have to be some nade at this point to hold this one off. Full execution coming through. 3 CTs on the other side. If they could get a smoke down now, that would be great. I'm not sure they have it. The Mantu does have it. He can get the smoke down now. Like we say, always say, Alex, 30 seconds, good time to throw it. I think he's trying to position it now. Good time. It's actually come down at a really nice spot. Good grenade following up as well. It's going to be difficult for them to justify pushing the smoke at this stage with the time running so low. OG could be onto something here. Yeah,
and look at Issa. He knows that time is of the essence, and if they respect this smoke, they're going to have about 10 seconds to clear the entire site. And, Valda takes down somebody, pre-fires the corner smoke, fades, and so does Zita's lifeline. Eliminated by Issa's Deagle. Time, 8 seconds. Look at them. They're just so stationary. They don't have to do anything. Just survive and stop that plan. And there we have it.
Perfect. Yeah, really well played there. Chad's dead on with that use of the word. Perfect round. Even though they lose every single player there, they're holding on to the smoke. We talk about it so much, and we talk about that 30-second rule. If you can feel the execution coming towards the B side of the map, dropping it down at this choke point at 30 seconds, you saw how powerful that was. They had to just cancel their plan straight away and decide what their next move was going to be. It had to be go through the smoke eventually. They just had no time. And the moment they did, a 3-man crossfire set up there. Mantu just holding the back for new boxes to deny the plan. Didn't want to be part of the initial duel, which is absolutely perfect. And he's currently having internet issues.
He's got his sister uploading pictures.
Exactly.
I know how this feels, mate. Get her off the internet.
I've been there too.
Unplug the router, or router if you're from the United Kingdom. Doesn't make any sense you guys say that. For us, that word means something completely different.
Router?
Router.
I barely know her.
Router.
All right.
Router.
But yeah, we do have, we've been very lucky with these kind of issues, haven't we? They haven't cropped up all that too much. I was just talking to our producer, he doesn't traditionally work on Counter-Strike. He's more of a sporting man himself. But we've got him over here, and I said, you've been super lucky with the online CS back in the day. Oh my God. Wouldn't believe some of the breaks we had going on back then.
I mean, that
the
was
DDoS situation.
That was something, wasn't it?
I do remember it just always, I think it actually, forged us in those flames so that we got better. We learned very quickly how to fill 45 minutes of
got better at being clowns, didn't we?
Just your microphones. It's like, okay, guys, we're going to fly through Dust 2. You've got 45 minutes. It's me and Lauren. Go.
My favorite one that we ever did was the bonding experience we had over there in St. Petersburg. Yumi and Yanko in the Epicenter event, which was just an ice hockey locker room. And we had 2 Russian cameramen, and they spoke a very small amount of English, and we spoke no Russian. We get like Das Vidanya, that's about it, right?
Cheeky Spasiba in there.
Yeah, that's about it. And we would try and talk to them, right? Try and have a bit of a discourse. And I said where I was from, and the only thing they knew to respond to that was kangaroo, which is pretty common. But that right there is when we had like 45-minute to an hour long fills because we had no idea what was going on. We just had no idea. We're just sitting there talking for as long as we could. Have I also got a picture in my room?
You certainly do. Green, when does the PC turn on in the little room behind you? When is it actually?
I actually don't know. I think it's partially it's a random tick every round, I think.
I know you're a big fan of ticks, Rush.
Yeah, you know what? I love those 128 tick servers. Thank you to ESCA for providing us. You'll see a clip later on. It was.
He's going to be so excited about this clip.
Dude, I hit just as a setup for later. I hit the sickest P2K shots yesterday.
So if the game isn't entertaining you guys, make sure you hang around to see some of Rush's highlights from the pugs we were playing last night.
We see a lot of professional CS here, and I just wanted to keep it to that level with the play that I had last night on all those ticks coming in, 128 of them in a second, and that's quite a lot.
Is that that's spinning? Because
it's probably Mansu, so he doesn't get kicked. So it's maybe, I guess.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, I was going to say that we had it last night.
Those settings on in the actual official match servers.
We had a bit of a spiraling situation last night. I was like, why has the admin got to set up so everyone gets kicked if you're AFK and banned? It wasn't ideal.
All right, do your best chicken impression for me, Alex, or I can go first. Okay, Henry. And I've got it when you kill it.
Oh, actually, to be fair, Chad, I understand why we saved the best to last. It makes sense now.
What about your best Zeus impression?
Lots of that action lately.
Yeah, that's good.
We've been having a lot of fun with the Zeus in the Madsion, that's for sure.
Yeah, every time you get Zeus, there is a penalty, and you are sent.
It's been a lot of push-ups.
You have to get up, get out your computer, and
pause the game.
You pause the game, and you've got to go ahead and do those push-ups.
Well, we're trying to stay fit at the same time here. We are gamers.
I'm struggling at the moment, I'll be honest, guys.
Watching Hugo's little pencil arms try and do a couple of push-ups is it's pretty entertaining.
Is that what's going on right now? Back there?
I reckon Hugo's doing push-ups right now.
You guys watch. Hugo, how can you do? 2?
What's wrong with his feet? Ugh.
The chicken's feet? They're like talons, I think they're called.
Yeah, they just looked a little, I know they're supposed to be dinosaurs, but it looks a little too velociraptor-y at the moment.
Yo, if we start going down the dinosaur field path, we're doing our best Jason and Anders.
I listened to that podcast. I fell asleep to it last night,
Oh,
Chad.
G?
Yeah, but I kind of ruined it for myself because they start by saying like, "Oh, this topic that we're not going to tell you what it is yet."
Yeah.
Right? They're warming up.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and they were referencing what it was, but I had missed all of the context as to how we got there.
You might need to go back and listen to it.
Start again.
Yeah.
But they were just like, so yeah, never mind. I'm not going to ruin it for everyone else.
If people are interested, it's a podcast series by Radiolab called G. To do with the idea of general intelligence. So,
general intelligence.
Yeah. So if you want to go listen to that, I would recommend it. The series is quite good.
There's also another podcast called the Globally Offensive Podcast. I believe a new episode will be released today. Don't sigh, you're part of it.
Yeah, no, I was sighing because it's like, are we going to get trouble for saying, come hang
Well, we'll
out?
plug another podcast. I think we can plug our own.
Yeah, come hang out. We're going to try and do one today. Try being the operative word.
Look,
We've said this a couple of times.
Yeah, the
now.
mics are already set up. Let's just do it when we get in.
Got no
First
excuse.
thing,
No excuse.
bums
Bash it
in
out.
seats, get it done. Oh, good news, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute until we're back in the action. So thank you for putting up with our ridiculous fill right here. As you can see, the pond is full of fish. It was even like that in previous versions.
It
was the same.
If you throw a grenade in there, though, all of them die. They go belly up. Little Easter egg there.
Okay.
Do you think they could have added like 1 or 2 more wiggles of the fish? Like
My fish pond at home doesn't look anything like that. It's a lot more. There's a lot more algae, a lot more green. My dad's not great at cleaning it.
I see my grandma is religious with her pond. She's got a fantastic kind of water feature.
I fell in a koi pond once.
Did you really?
I think I was about
Michael Scott or what?
I think I was about no. I think I was about. I've just had a flashback to it. I think I was about 8 years old, and it was one of the things where your parents they go see other parents, and it's like a parent gathering, and the kids are kind of left.
I think
to
it's
their own
called
devices.
a party, Chad.
Oh yeah, I don't go to many of those. But that was going on down, and they had this koi pond. They had frogs, and it was late at night, so I could hear the frogs croaking. So I tried to grab a frog, and I'd fallen into the pond. Completely wet. Dad's had to pull me on out.
28 years old he was.
Yeah, just 2 years ago.
It does look like, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the counter. Thank you for your patience. Mantu's internet back underway. So we can go ahead and do the same. 7-2 on the CT side of our very first map. Tyloo choosing to pick this one, and OG bringing Dust 2 to the fray up next. It does seem like Tyloo have only just started to get their teeth in this T side. 2 rounds off on the trot. It's time to see if OG are going to be sending them back to where this one started, or if we've got a competitive half ahead of us.
I feel like it's the latter. Tyloo starting to come online now, starting to look quite strong with a couple of decent gun runs under their belts. They did just lose to the unfortunate CZ and rifle situation, but that was just very well played from OG, I would say.
And their buy is better now going into this round, right? Every individual fell in the previous. Valda having to now pick up a Famous, and they're being harassed towards top of Banana. That Molotov will be the last note of utility dropped towards the sandbag, as now they can take that part of the map for, well, not free. It did cost them $400 to clear that part. But when they're able to establish this type of map control, their executes just come down to the proficiency of trading. And if the OG individuals are caught off guard, in the earlier stages, we saw exactly this. They were able to read the plays fantastically. They had 4 to A, they had 3 over towards B.
Looks like a gap in that smoke to me.
Yeah, that isn't ideal.
Well, once again, they've got banana control and middle, right? They've been executing towards A most of the time after getting this sort of control. We'll see if that finishes up here again. Their quad play seems to be successful. They managed to get decent trades, and that's where they're heading towards again. Spammage coming through, and it will be the first kill for OG. Decent positioning from Issa here. Smoke preemptively thrown just to hold off the Molotov, which he does a very good job of, and both of them fail. So he's just burned $600 worth of that.
Yeah, he's getting pushed on the side, though. He knows it's coming. He finds Summer. This should be the round. Freeman, he's healthy, but he's got 4 players hunting him down, and Alexi finishes.
Pretty underwhelming there, Chad.
Yeah, well, the thing is, that was the most basic way to hold what Issa just did there. You know how I was critiquing Liaz yesterday, only getting 1 from that position round after round? That is what it should look like, right? He was spotting until he fell under threat. As soon as there was the threat, drops the smoke. Molotovs can no longer harass him, and from here, he can one-way the smoke. It's super difficult for the Ts. They have to worry about so many other positions on the map, and he's a nuisance, right? That is what he is in that point. He is just a nuisance. The kills he picks up, well, that's an added bonus. And what isn't looking great is Tyloo buying when freeze time has ended.
Yeah, you never like to see that. If you're not sure, boys, top tip, just take a timeout. You've got 4 of them. If you find yourself still deliberating over the purchase situation in spawn. It's not a huge deal, obviously, if you're not rushing, but still just a sign that things aren't completely tickety-boo.
Did Summer overbuy here, or is it just because it's T-side he's cool?
Summer, in terms of their loss bonus, they'll have 3,400 next round, so he'll still have more than enough for AK armor and basic grenades.
I was really bad at that because I came from a traditional sense of when you ecoed, you weren't spending a penny.
Yeah.
It took me a while to warm into the idea of I could invest a little bit
having a
more.
little bit, treat yourself a little bit.
And the rounds were very winnable, right? So that extra smoke or flash went a long way as Issa does his best to deny the quad take. Get 1, but the flanks already come on in. Tyloo are trapped.
Yeah, it's locked to the door behind them. MBK now to hold it. He'll be towards the pit position, and not the most convincing spray so far. Doesn't really do any damage, but that certainly does. Connects towards quad. In true style and grace there. Lovely work, and they go 9-2 in favor of OG. Remember, there was a partial buy, as I mentioned. Maximum loss bonus now, so as you can see, even Summer, 47.50. Enough for AK armor. Smoke, couple of flashes. No problem in that regard. A little bit messy from MBK to kick things off, but then real nice to stick the landing towards the end of the round.
Yeah, that's some sexy Counter-Strike. Round 12 does seem like we're going to be getting all of the bells and whistles, all the trimmings and fixings you desire for a Counter-Strike round.
Tyloo's CT side yesterday when we were watching them against FaZe, it wasn't terrible. It's just they didn't have or give themselves too many rounds to work with, right? So the same can be said here. I feel that they're going to probably want to get minimum 4. If they're able to get 5 out of this half, it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be a very tall task. But if they can win that CT side of pistol, have clean anti-ecos in the early stages, don't go down to those 4 spies, to those Kriegs, then they could battle back into this. But right now, it's looking extremely bleak. Just we're seeing gaps in smokes. We're seeing janky timings after they're defaulting, taking territory.
And a display of a lack of understanding the mid-round calls. It seems that their objective is pretty much set in stone once it begins, which is a bit of a shame to see, I have to say. Speaking of which, they chose to go towards B this round. Do they fully commit with 5 players there? I would say almost certainly. They have 2 smokes remaining. There's the first, second should be towards coffins, and in we go momentarily with no flashes.
Oh, they've just been denied
Yeah.
for another 20 seconds right now. So unless they want to
feel
run
like they
through
have
this
to,
smoke,
because they have
they
what?
are. They're just going to pop through it. Here we go.
They have to, because they just don't have any other smokes
There's
here.
the
So you've
flash.
got to go for it.
And Mantu waits, bides his time, and prepares to strike. Valda will get shut down. Onto the Orpa, who does get the timing onto the first seat to swing. And now OG, they're in trouble. They've got the setup from Summer, but it looks like Mantu's going to focus his attention on this push-up. Somebody's trying to keep the CTs at bay, but he does catch Summer's push.
Huge kill. That means the retake can actually start to come in now. Until they cleared that Summer position, they were held at bay.
Yeah, now somebody will get traded out. 2v2, kits on both, and attackers are emo. Freeman has a nice crossfire with him. He'll be jumping out on contact from attacker. Bomb's about halfway gone, and now they're closing in on NBK. Already does go down. Mantu, surely an impossible task with his weapon.
Yeah, they don't have to swing on this until he touches the bomb. He can't even consider that at this stage, as he'll go for the final kill here. Just as he's leaving, great
Nice
flick
shot.
here from Mantu. That's not bad, can no longer win the round, but still, he made this incredibly expensive there. Almost gets the last as well. The bomb blast won't be quite enough to finish things off. Can he find the AWP in time? He cannot. So at least they've denied that prospect going forward. Just the AK-47 brought into the next round as Tyloo get their third. This is all down to Mantu missing that initial shot that allowed them to break through. We heard him fire one off, didn't quite connect, and then get towards that well position. They got the opening kill. Mantu did a great job of just taking away money, denying them for as long as he possibly could. Retake wasn't really possible, though, unfortunately for them. That was a really nice shot there. Brought it down to the 1 versus 1. Money's still absolutely fine on the CT side, but you can see compromises being made. The AWP Mantu is out. They've got a couple of rifles. Issa on the Deagle as the initial utility exchange comes through. This time, it will be Tyloo winning the battle.
And if they win this round, the 9-6 half could potentially be on the cards, considering the state of affairs. OG will find their money in going forward. So that round, a simple approach, just flashing on through and trading. That is basic Counter-Strike, but that's sometimes all you need.
Somebody's burning. Ooh, and I'm burping, excuse me. Lexi B in trouble. He is going to go down to this one. Doesn't even connect a single bullet into the Tyloo. Banana control. 2 of them setting themselves up. Somebody and attacker. Response of NBK. So they smoke out trades, or they trade out smokes. Would make a whole lot more sense. Freeman's going to be throwing out his towards coffins regardless.
They might just pounce again here. It worked for them in the previous.
Feels a bit pouncy. NBK does try and get the flames out, and new box is not an option. He's really running to struggling to find any space. They're screwed. Zeta double with the Galil, and that's the round.
Yeah, that could be Tyloo's entrance into this first map now. Chad said 9-6 is a possibility. OG would be happy to get 10-5 at this stage, considering the last few rounds. They are going to try and save this AWP in the hands of Mantu, but Tyloo once again breaking through that B defense. Attacker and Zeta looking very strong indeed with those AK-47s and now M4. B bomb site, no problem at all.
Yeah, it should be a little bit more difficult than that, but that opening kill that Alex pointed out with Alexi not even doing a lick of damage, that just meant, well, there's no reason to run away from this banana position. It's likely they're going to play a 2-2 setup, and the utility usage was great from Tyloo when they eventually did go for that hit.
Yeah, you saw NBK kind of get stuck in limbo. I think he was heading towards new box, and there was a flame one side, a flame the other. He was sat in the open. Had to just go for a all-in commitment to the fight. So 9-3, we'll get to see attackers kill on an XCB here that started this whole party off. And there was a second one that came quite quickly after the first. Nicely done.
I'm just going to show you guys quickly this. I think this was the pop onto the B site that we saw earlier, where they made it work very simply, right? They didn't actually use a whole lot of utility. They just pushed on through very quickly and caught them off guard. And then just there in that previous round, we saw attacker. He actually pushed into the CT smoke and pivoted straight into spawn to deal with the rotations. So good stuff coming out of Tyloo in the last couple.
Mantu holding the line on this banana push. There are some Tyloo members on their way up. Somebody and attacker already walking up. Let's see if we can put that on full screen, guys. Thank you. We'll check his corners. I think we've lost X-ray for this, so you will... there we have it. Mantu back in the scene. It's a hero AWP, so these kills are everything. Their chances lie with the AWPer.
Well, he's got the first pick. I'm not sure why they wouldn't flash that, why they wouldn't trade it. Questionable approach, but should be fine as they crouch beneath the initial smoke. Pre-firing towards the boost position should give them the advantage here. Unless Mantu goes absolutely wild at this point, they should be fine. Good smoke down. He'll have to fire off a shot eventually when the bomb gets planted. Oh, he actually hits him as well.
Oh, attacker catching the bullet, but it really had to be the kill for them to have any chance of making USP all round work. Manti's going to try and find a safe exit path. It looks like he's just about, with the cover of his teammate, gotten away with it. Protect the precedent. He said 9-6 looking possible, looking absolutely likely, considering B site's fallen twice in a row now. Tyloo have cracked this nut.
Yeah, they're going to have to save the AWP here, try and lock in any terrorists towards his B side, but it looks like they're getting mowed down on the OG side of things. Tyloo claim yet another round here at the B bomb site. Everyone to survive. Attacker probably goes down, unfortunately. But apart from that, it's the last round coming up next. They're looking pretty good.
Yeah, and to note with that phase game, we saw Tyloo open things up yesterday. It was Inferno their choice again. They started with the pistol win and were able to convert 4 from there and then finish off the half with the final round. This half is actually more impressive because of the slew of rounds, right? They've had to do it on gun rounds. They haven't had pistol. They haven't been able to snowball their economy in their favor. They've actually had to come on through on these full gun rounds, which are the harder rounds of the game, right?
Yeah, and they've got 3 rounds in a row at this point.
It's pretty nice stuff.
See whether this is going to be where OG can get double digits or Tyloo can find a very convincing first half of their map pick. 6 rounds, not too bad at all on the T side. Compromise buy once again, not everything they need. We've got Alexi B down to just the MP9. We haven't said his name all too often.
Look at this very late double Molotov banana take for info. You can see those two fellas. It's going to be Alexi B and Valda. They double molly late and now walk all the way down with the deep smoke. They have completely confirmed banana clear. And now there's incendiaries being thrown towards A.
Same approach from Tyloo, that double Molotov towards the quad side. But remember, Mansu was able to reposition and claim a kill before. The flashbang's more effective this time. Knock him off his perch, but still he'll find the frag. Issa waits towards the balcony. Flashbang's very effective. So are the AK shots. Is he good for 2? Issa on for 3 as he manages to claim the round here. Looks like we're all done in a 4 versus 1. Just Zeta remaining as it will be OG to get double digits here. It's a map pick of Tyloo, but OG are surprising us and putting up a very strong performance so far. Have some great shots coming in from Valda and other members of the OG squad. As we take a break, we're back at that second half of Inferno very shortly.
Tyloo on your screens and in the server tonight. They're up against OG and already 10-5 the score in favor of what was the OG CT side. Now it's their turn to attack, and we'll see what Attacker and Co can do on the defense.
Absolutely true, Alex. And OG, sure, they've got a big advance in terms of the scoreline, but this pistol's still very important. If Tyloo can pick this up, they're right back into it. Remember, it is their map pick. As we see a second mid approach from OG here. They are going to have just blocks across the board, and apparently an amazing AT grenade in the bedroom. Zeta gets destroyed there. A couple of ATs land, and now come the kills of the USPs. Back and forth we go. It's Issa taking the lion's share of the frags, though, as we find ourselves in a 4-on-1 situation. OG have this one in the bag.
It's rare. Well, okay, hang on. Can I start again?
Go again.
Is it rare to see so many nade kills in pistol rounds?
That looks like a read to me that they've watched the Tyloo demo from yesterday on Inferno, and they know there's an aggressive play towards the bedroom.
But we saw Tyloo phase. Tyloo double naded on the pistol, Nico on that boost corner. Like, more and more people are buying two HEs on pistol rounds.
These are what the demos are for. So you can actually counter whatever tendencies they usually have. If 5 times out of 10 he goes to that pick and second middle, if he gets a good spawn, yeah, why not double nade it? If you're going up there anyway and get yourself a nice early frag, that's perfect from OG. And of course, you're going to continue that momentum. If you get an early kill like that, any strategy you had in mind, you're probably going to cancel it. Your mid-round calls are very important at that stage. That's when you need your in-game leader, Alexi B, to say, right, continue this momentum. We've killed one towards quad. Keep that smoke down. Let's keep going towards the A site. And that's exactly what they did. And it works out quite nicely. Tyloo will have to force buy in the second round. They need this one, unfortunately for them.
Okay.
Could go for the rivals in the third. I would advise against it, but we'll see what they decide to do. You can see the odds coming in from a GG bet. This one gives them a 12-5 deficit, and they are going to take the eco one smoke. So that means they're going to have a lackluster buy entering the next round with 3 MAC-10s on the server. It's going to be difficult unless they focus on helmets instead of utility going forward.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they would have in mind, because OG, if they get banana control for free, can just do a B execute, send the MAC-10s in first to shred heads. If they want to go for an A set piece, we know that mouse spot to execute is very overwhelming with the 4 individuals through alt mid throwing all those set nades. And as we can see right now, well, unfortunately, Tyloo have gambled, and they've gambled incorrectly. There will be 4 players over towards B, 1 over towards A on the arch side. He can't do any damage at all. It's just going to be smoked on off. What they could do here is all try and stay alive to deny the MAC-10s farming up any extra money.
But it's the same problem then. Again, you haven't taken those MAC-10s away. They'll still be present, but you are right. That's pretty much all they can hope to do is Mantu to open things up. He only gets $300 for that kill, at least, as they'll push down towards Banana. Not going to be holding on to the B bomb side, it seems. Going to be pushing down, looking for some exit frags if possible, as Mantu gets himself set up quite nicely for a few frags here. Looks like he'll get the first, no problem. That's the second of the round, as the MAC-10s try and farm some cash now. We have got a very low HP Alexi B who goes down. They said that a huge deal of the MAC-10s are removed, but certainly not ideal. AKs to close things out. So we're going to have 2 MAC-10s in now. Watch for the helmets on the CT side. Who won't and will have them is a very important factor up against these 2 MAC-10s of MBK and Valda. Now, I know Alexi B, a fantastic in-game leader. He knows how to play these sort of scenarios. Expect to see something quite punchy here. A little bit strange, maybe a push through a smoke, trying to send someone in and just trying to cause chaos up against the players who potentially don't have helmets. As we have a pause here, it looks to be technical, I would imagine, as we can analyze the buys as they come through. So 2 rifles already, third one for Summer with no helmets.
You would assume he's a B holder, right? You're going to need a bit of extra utility there to get banana control.
Attacker and Freeman are aware of the gravity of the situation here. They've gone for 2 helmets and just 1 smoke each, knowing that the MAC-10s are out. They need to have more firepower to give them an advantage here.
It does feel like almost a disadvantage sometimes if the players and the coordinated utility around them are playing for those MAC-10s to set them up. Any of those close corners are a risk. You could just get jumped on.
And with that in mind as well, the fact you've gone for the helmet, sure, that's security of the MAC-10, but how do you get banana control now? You won't have the incendiaries at the start to control that part of the map. So it really is pick your poison. How would you rather go down? You can see somebody, no helmet for him as well. Zeta, the AWPer of the squad, he'll have 4,400, probably a very similar approach.
Well, we've listed all the ways it can go wrong. All the ways it can go right is if OG decide to swing around corners without being diligent with their utility, right? If they let that utility kind of drop to the wayside and the M4s get to take long-range duels against the MAC-10, well, that's when the tables start to turn. So OG are going to have to make some very glaring mistakes here, or not cross their T's and dot their I's, because that would be the only door for Tyloo to get into this gun round. And if they do lose this gun round, well, the game is looking very bleak from this point forward.
Well, we're off then. So 3 players without helmets, and they're going to send 3 players towards B as well. Will they go for the aggressive take? They're certainly going to be dropping grenades at the very start. You can see them trying to avoid them at the very bottom there. HEs have not been deployed just yet, though, so damage can still be inflicted in the mid-stages. There's the first on the T side at least. There'll be a response. But will it be a successful one? You can see them getting ready towards the corner now. Here it comes. Good response. So it does work out nicely. That's what they wanted to happen here. So far, so good for Tyloo.
It's almost turned the tide of the round, right? Because now when the entry comes on through, Tyloo won't know how much damage they've done, but if they stop to spam the smokes, they might be able to pick up a free kill onto Valde here.
Another smoke where that came from. You saw somebody pulling the pin, posturing, won't be throwing it out just yet. He does want to try and save that one for as much as he can, for as long as he can.
The execution from OG here. Molotov towards Emo. New boxes as well. Enables them to just eradicate risk to this point, wait for that smoke to go down, and somebody's in the open. They'll need a couple of kills here. He does manage to find it. Big spray down coming through. That initial damage working out quite nicely for Tyloo here. Big gun round working in their favor. Just Mansu surviving here on 5 HP. No chance of winning the round. It looks like he might even want to save.
They went through a smoke, which was one of those win conditions for Tyloo, right?
Yeah.
You could see there, how many players did they actually see through that one? One individual was ahead of the smoke.
To push,
the rest of them all just get taken down before, and Mansu's left on nothing here.
That's why I wanted to see something quick and off the mark in this particular round, knowing that you're probably not going to win it.
Yeah.
A telegraph B execution when they could drop their utility on top of you, I don't think that was the play. That wasn't the one that's excited me, the fact that you're going to be exploiting the fact they don't have incendiaries.
There also wasn't the pressure of the clock at that point. That went in at roughly 40 seconds, right? So realistically here, it was even before that, closer to 50. Realistically, maybe a little bit rushed and hurried by OG, but knowing that they'd given up the control of the rest of the map, there was always a chance that a Tyloo individual could have pushed through holes and already taken away that map
And you know
control.
it's Tyloo, right?
Yeah, so that aggression always going to be on the agenda, but this force buy from OG, this is a bit of a shove in not the all-in direction. There's still a lot of game to be played, but they might be putting a few more rounds on the board for Tyloo here if they're unable to convert this one.
Okay, so a lot of rides on this for OG if they want a clean win.
Yeah, well, no damage inflicted, at least at the start of the round. The Molotov will not land successfully at barrels either. So both teams absolutely fine for now as they go for that B control again. All 5 players here waiting for the smoke to go down, but that will be replaced. And unfortunately for Summer, he's caught out by the timing here. That's the Mac 10. We talked about that lack of helmet being an issue. Same story applies here. Somebody still no helmet. 2 HP now. The cross without the smoke. The nade lands. And do they have another smoke? They can get across. It doesn't matter. MBK is taking heads at this point as they'll get themselves in a 4 versus 2. Attacker and Freeman, look, they're up for it. First skill very important. And they nail it. They take a lot of damage in the process. Looks like we should be done here. The incendiary being thrown. That gives away attacker's position. MBK thinking about swinging on this, which he will. 13-6. And they're down to $2,500 once again. Tyloo might have to take their final pause here and discuss their options. It's either go for the full investment now, potentially lose the game, or take a full eco and try and play the perfect half a Counter-Strike after that.
Good shots from MBK.
Yeah, with no smoke down, you had to hit them. Tyloo coming in live from Poland. This is their map pick, not in a great spot at the moment. So pistols and a couple of rifles, rushing middle.
Rushing middle, Famas, Freeman, I love it. And Soma, he's having a bit of a nightmare, and now it's going to become a bit of a chase. That's the bomb. That's a double from Zeta. 2 of them pushed up. They got a smoke, they got the bomb, and they likely have the round. Another frag. Valde wants to claw this one back. Take back some control. It doesn't have to be a rush. Both CTs in there, locked in there. And now through the smoke, Valde catches bullets, but Attacker doesn't know.
So we have Valde on 5 HP. Bomb in favor of Attack here. Another smoke goes down, locking him out, but the mind games will begin here. Plenty of time to go around the map. Valde, that's what he's decided to do. He's got a smoke and a flashbang himself. Attacker puts himself in a prime position to win this one. This was an eco, remember, or a force buy, I should say, with the CZs brought out. No one watching middle. No one aware of that potential flank. Great job on the double kill. All comes down to this moment, though. Attacker can still see the C4.
He's going to win the round easy.
Surely. It comes down to timing. The only way Valde can really win at this stage if he just absolutely wrecks him on the timing. As Attacker gets himself up towards the bomb. At half wall now. Goes even further. Timing works in his favor.
Now, Valde's going to get... Oh, it's
Perfect
such a perfect play.
Yeah, there's no way.
Beautiful execution from Attacker. He's just got to, I mean, we have the luxury of X-ray, but he's desperately trying to get that X-ray in his mind, you know, visualize it, build that picture as best he can.
He did a great job hunting information there. He looked in towards CT Spawn with 20 seconds on the clock. He can pretty much take an educated guess that he won't be coming from that side of the map. Checks himself from the barrels and closes things out. MBK did what he could to keep the dream alive here, but perfectly positioned attacker will close things out. Round 21 and a force buy once again with the MAC-10s. Remember, you want to see something a bit quicker when you have this sort of setup. This time, though, up against the helmets.
Yeah, you need to really get these jewels a bit tighter. That's a really cool Molotov there.
The lineup was really technical. Goes right in there.
Right in. Very cool.
So some of the problems I see here for OG, at least in the context of the game from a broader sense, is if they start to lose these rounds and give away free openings just like that to attacker, the game can very quickly get out of control, right? Once the money tips, the fact that they're going for force buys in these situations anyway, their idea is, hey, let's keep Tyloo's money under our thumb so that they can't build a massive bank. But by doing so, if you give away too many rounds with the force buys, you're doing exactly what you tried to avoid.
Right. Yeah, certainly. This one is not out of reach for OG, but they've already got themselves quite the significant disadvantage. NBK wasn't ready for the attacker setup. We can see his corpse now on Boiler, as Issa will retrieve one extra smidgen of utility, an extra flashbang from his French compatriot.
3 players still towards B here. Good smoke from Tyloo. Vada will call it. They've been locked out a few times here. There is a slight gap amongst the things, and who will pick up this first kill? It's going to be Vauda. He uses the pacing to continue his assault towards the B side of the map here. The flashbang towards Squad does allow him to get through, but that was quite the overzealous play, I have to say. They're not really thinking about this one. They're taking the advantage and they're just throwing it away.
Zeta double kill to really confirm it, but they just, yeah, YOLO.
I feel like they could have done more with that, Chad.
It's similar scenes to what we saw at a Tyloo's T-side, right?
Yeah.
They've had executes, they've got set pieces, they're able to get the map control, but then when they're running on in, they're getting caught off guard by all these crossfires. It's difficult to identify all of these jewels.
That wasn't Alexi B calling that. That was Vauda. He got that kill and he just ran in there ahead of everyone. You've just got to go with it at that point. He's committed fully, and you had time left. You had a few grenades as well. Could have just slowed that right down and worked out the correct way to execute the site. Crossing dry on spawn against rifles didn't seem to be the play for me, especially with a low HP Vauda running in first. And that's maybe some of the communication issues that they're struggling with right now. Not having obviously they do have a clear, defined in-game leader, but so many minds that want to take control and play their version of the game.
I know that this was a really big problem earlier in the year, and we had the pleasure of having Alexi on the desk over there in London to answer some questions, as this should just be the eco slaughter over towards top banana here. Well, they will get a kill, but that shouldn't be too much more. And we asked Alexi about it, and he said, you know, when you had somebody else calling like the CT half, you didn't feel like you were actually in control of the game. Like the flow of the game didn't feel the same. You just brought in to call the T side. Was a bit more jarring for him, right? Because they did that relationship where they shared the in-game leadership role. MBK was doing the CT sides like he previously was in Vitality, and Alexi B was doing
Vitality
the T side.
Alex, not Alexi B, just to be clear, right?
Vitality with Alex.
Yeah, so but
in OG, Alexi B and MBK were doing a similar system,
right,
the same setup.
I understand.
But Alexi B has been able to wrestle back full control, and he's calling everything now. And he was saying as an individual that it feels like he can actually get the flow of the game at this point.
Well, the ebb and flow of a game of Counter-Strike. Did go 1 for 1 there. That does favor OG. But already conceding banana control, a deep smoke and an inquisitive eye from somebody will confirm it's clear, and Zeta already rotating over.
Yeah, that information from somebody is very valuable. Getting himself up towards the logs position, T-spawn smoke down. He could actually push this. Holds towards the very bottom for now, just allowing him to have 3 members on the B side, or the A side of the map, I should say. Quad focus from MBK. Throws the Molotov in towards Pip. Baits out the smoke.
Zeta's having a good couple of rounds here. Double kill on double kill. This time he'll take just the single, and attacker is under a lot of scrutiny. Freeman's there in support. Rotate from somebody, push down on banana, now up towards middle, but OG with 40 seconds, they hit pause. Anticipating this flank, Issa's gonna go check for it.
Oh, they might get a freebie here as well if they do push down to clear, but oh, the timing. That's the avenue to be, completely open.
And now Issa in a lot of trouble. Attacker goes down, they know where Freeman is. They know exactly where he is, and they just choose to finish it right there and then. A triple for Issa.
So dicey.
Yeah, wasn't the cleanest towards the end there, but they managed to get it done. That was better. They slowed the game right down after getting some advantages, some good map control as well. Then when they got, this was the kill. Where they did, instead of wrapping like they probably would have done, when they got that kill towards Arch, they just said, right, let's pause, let's take some stock here and work out what we're up against and actually exploit that fact and work together, which was much better, instead of just going off the fact they got that quick kill.
Yeah, you need to recalibrate in a lot of these situations. What position are you holding? What information do we have? Where was X last spotted? That all needs to come on in.
Especially who plays where traditionally, like who's the B players, who's the anchor, who have we taken down so far? Just taking a moment just to work that information out can be very valuable. And speaking of which, looking for map points. OG have a chance here in round number 24 up against 3 primary weapons, 2 M4s in the AWP and 2 CZs. Flash attack from the apartment position, smoke down towards Moto. Here's the flash, doesn't affect them, but the second one certainly does. Attacker will have to take his crosser away from the apartments for a second. Good shot as he gets 3. That's huge. Not bad at all.
Oh,
wow.
Attacker! Quad kill in this round. And now Valdez wondering where his team have gone. Perfect hold of the pit position. Take notes, Issa.
I hate that strategy as well. I think on a full gun round, but as when you're calling it on the side with the full gun round, I think it's such a silly all-in. What is the easiest place to get multi-frag from in the entire map?
The tightest choke
balcony?
Point.
Yeah, halls. And this here, he didn't even need to kill them as they were all congregated in halls. You can see just how easily he could pivot from that bike position. So that is really fantastic work there from Attacker. This is a call, we did get to listen to the comms over there in London quite a lot, and Alexi B was calling that round a significant amount. So that's one of his crutches. And in-game leaders tend to have that, right? They'll always have a round that in their mind it should work. It's a surprise call, guys. We're going to catch him off guard. You run. Look, I used to have a whole bunch of my own that I was very stubborn about that I thought should work.
Oh. And they just didn't?
No, and your teammates, they either didn't understand completely what you were looking to do. There's a lot of different bits and pieces with that, but that's just a very simple halls pop that, as you can see, doesn't have a lot of depth to it. It's quite the simple approach, and just because of that, it can be taken apart very easily.
I mean, you can say that they got out onto the side. They had one drop pit. They already had one up short, one balk. It was looking, in terms of spread, positive. None of them quite capable of locking down that pit player. People have been opting for double nades now, actually. We've seen a lot of people, once they get the boiler room, they'll just make sure they have a double HE towards the bike.
Yeah.
Does seem to, at the bare minimum, soften up the pit player, but soften up the attack. It will be somebody, and Summer, oh, OG knocked for 6 in the 25th.
Yeah, clean sweep, money building up now. Could actually close this one out in regulation still. OG looking a little bit flabbergasted on their T side. Noticed this back in Summit as well at the end of 2019. We thought, okay, we'll give them time as their CT sides look solid. We know they've got decent players within their ranks, but generally speaking, their T sides look a little bit flat, and understandably so, I suppose. We'll see now if we can get another one on the board for OG for map points. Smoke down towards the B side of the map. Flashes as well. They're going to take damage again. Alexi B keeps swallowing those grenades at the very start, down to 41.
Be a laboured finish right now, because at this point of the game, OG need to pull up their socks, and they know that, right? Things become a lot more serious when you get to the tail end of the game. So if there were things they were being a little bit loose on before, that'll definitely be adjusted now, but the rigidity of that could get exploited by the mid-round aggression of Tyloo. Just think about that round they picked on up where Zeta flanked Banana with the CZ, right? Somebody actually continued to push through to the top of Banana through their own smoke. Like, madness will still ensue in this game. So even though OG now have to treat them like they are a top-tier team, the plays that could come out could still be really randy on the Tyloo side. So there's always that danger. It still lies in wait.
Well, a lot of danger in round number 26 here. Maybe another B finish is on the cards. They have got apartments control and basic Banana access, but they are going to fall back now. In terms of utility, one smoke for Moto, maybe. That would be about it. Zeta, AWP towards middle. Alexi B looks he's it off for himself up. Flashbang's coming through, though. Does remove the orb crosser for a second, but it is repositioning. Mansu will take care of it.
And that's big. And now charging. Look at them. 3 of them stomping like elephants
here.
up long. It's all on Freeman. He could get checked by NBK. Depends how thorough he is from his descent on balcony. They're clearing the site, calling it clear. Freeman's going to be the one to wave the flag. He can't even get one. Big connection from Issa. quick adjustment and bomb down with just 5 seconds to spare.
So Tyloo weren't as inquisitive towards B that round. They were turtled up inside the B bomb site. They were hoping it'd be that B execution coming in once again. They didn't have any activity towards C steps. The incendiaries weren't available to them. So they hold up. They took a bit of a gamble and one that cost them map point here. OG just helped themselves towards the A site after getting that old pick. No rotations at all from Tyloo, and there was just one player waiting in towards a pit position. That was Freeman. Nothing he could do about that. Taken down. And at this stage, OG have 4 rounds to close this one out cleanly.
Should be manageable. Feels like it might be imminent. Avoiding the bomb blast in that corner.
It's so, I think that needs to be adjusted. I hate the fact that you can save so close to the bomb.
Yeah,
considering
me too.
CTs have to save a lot more now when they lose the bomb site, at least give them some way to punish the Ts. At least make the Ts leave the vicinity of the bomb
that's
site.
a very good point. If they actually had to leave the area and understood that, you can actually get some extra frags
The
and
Dust
deny.
2-1, Henry, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Have you seen
The
that?
bricks on B?
Do you consider the car?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, that spot you're talking about, it's ridiculous. That is so stupid that you can stay there and the bomb could detonate. That is, in my mind, I consider that the bomb site.
Within the hardest to retake bomb site of
Yeah,
Counter-Strike
it's
as well.
insane.
That's a funny combination. That's such a risk to take on map point. He does get away with it, albeit with a little less health than he started with.
Yeah, down at 12. 1 round will do it for OG here. Alexi B doesn't take as much damage this time as he meant to. Far off towards the half wall, trying to get the wallbang damage in if possible. Somebody readdressing this position. Doesn't commit to the corner fully. Flash is coming over the land behind him, and so will the smokes. Is this a fake here from OG? Looks good for somebody's position right now. Has got the Krieg in hand. Good for those multi-frags. This position enables him not to be flashed. Ready and waiting. Can't unscope here, Alex, either. It'll make a scope sound.
Hold.
Yeah.
Scary stuff. That's a flash right in his face, but does manage to get away.
So full B execution coming in here, designed to make life difficult for the AWPers. Smoke land on the coffin. Incendiary in response. I'll go through that, and in they go.
Take their time, spacing. Issa into the first. Valda to clear out. Jumps onto the second. Oranges, and that's another. Summer's gone. B site wide open, and the rest of them, all 3 of them, were set up on top of quad. It's such a long rotate. This looks fantastic for OG.
Got to go for it. No saving here. Map points and Tyloo in a 5 versus 3. Zeta low, and surely that's going to do it.
And they just picked up 2 smokes from the dead corpses on the B side, so this one should definitely be done and dusted. OG have everything they need. Time on their side.
Just a matter of time here, Chad, surely.
I don't know. Freeman, he's a fast boy. Does have a kit as well. Not going to get the frag, and that's it. Issa confirms it. Another multi-kill from him. 16-11. OG versus Tyloo continues afterwards on Dust 2. We'll see if there's any more twists and turns.